The tactical rocket man, yep. It's the pocket rocket. Whoa, wait, never mind. Let's take that one back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and it's viewer game night. Viewer game review night, more specifically. But we have other exciting news to talk about. It's kind of fortunate that not too many people submitted games tonight, because there's too much. There's too much going on in the world of Phobies. We have an imminent update. We've just completed the Vendy search. Let's get into it. What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing out there? I've been kind of taking it easy today. I was not really in the world of Phobies other than observationally, we'll say, over the last day or so. So as a result, I saw what happened. I saw the fruits of everybody's labor, but wasn't really participating too much in the search. But we'll get to that later on. We're going to start out with the game breakdowns, and then we'll mix in the Vendy stuff afterwards. If this ends up being a shorter game breakdown session, so be it. We may or may not have an out-of-band stream at some point later this week, or early this week, I guess. We're going to play it by ear. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. Okay, so future me, going to include this portion of it. We're looking at a loss here from Great Ginger Gabe to Hoploy. Definition: to lose all hope of winning. Or Hoploy definition: to lose all hope of winning. Feedback appreciated as always, thanks. So as we're looking here, we're looking at an enormous level gap. We're going to be zoning into a small map. I'll be honest. We'll see what feedback we can provide, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say this one was probably lost at the loading screen. Look, you can beat levels. Can absolutely be done. But you need some things to fall into place. Vendy's been found? Yep. We will be talking about that, Rybread. I'm very excited that it's completed and now we know what's happening. But for now, viewer games. So, Gabe here is going second on Home Sweet Home. Ironically enough, one of the significant clues that stumped a big portion of the community. We're going to stop and pause already. I don't know that I like this response. Maybe Ginsting's fine, but here's the thing. And it's tough on this map in particular just because of the layout, and there are other maps along these lines, but while it may be tempting to go all in on a singular big phobie, especially against somebody who outlevels you by, a gazillion levels, the problem is that you actually reduce your hit points and reduce your damage output. Why? Well, because although those numbers are spread out across a variety of phobies, you just simply require more hits from your opponent, more things for them to account for, and you threaten more damage. So this singular Jin Sting, I don't know, maybe it's fine in general on this map. Maybe this is what Gabe opens up with anyway. But the problem is that you are going to contest less points, you're going to threaten less damage, and therefore Hoploy has free reign immediately. And Corn probably has almost as much H. Yeah. We're looking at a level 22 Corn. We'll call it 1550. We'll give him the extra 2. Yeah, like, this is super scary. So don't get me wrong, that's why I want to include the intro when I edit this later, that, look, you just kind of have to accept certain things sometimes. Like, Lord, grant me the wisdom to determine what I can change and what I can't. Everybody know that prayer? I only mentioned one line of it, but you get the idea. So anyway, our hero went Ginsting into Bowmangles. I don't hate the turret idea, but we're looking at a level 23 stabby, a hair over 2400 health. Like, 622 damage, 558. This actually isn't as big of a difference as I thought it was going to be, but it's still an enormous difference. It's like one more solid hit from Bowmangles if they were fighting each other, or the Jin Sting for that matter. And at this point, this is kind of what I was talking about. Look at this. This Jin Sting is... The entire board is in Hopaloy's favor, and the game is arguably over right now. And I'm not saying that to, like, make a joke. You could make a strong argument the game is over right now. Is it because of the Jin Sting? It's not a big difference just because Stabby has worse stats by default. Yes, to a degree. But we're talking level 23 versus level 12. It's almost doubling the levels. Like, in my head mentally, I was thinking, oh, well, it's got to be an enormous gap. And obviously not. I mean, it's still very large, but not enormous. But anyway, the Venus is the follow-up. I don't hate the idea of traps. So here's the reason why I don't mind traps in this situation. Traps can result in free attacks, essentially, right? That's the whole function of the trap 99% of the time. Unless it's like Jeeves, in which case then it gives you free attacks in a different way. Whatever, you get the idea. Point is that the traps could allow you to lay the groundwork to get in on something. The biggest issue I still think is the Jin Sting. You could hypothetically have a 1-drop and a 3-drop right now, or 2 2-drops or something. More things to position, more things to threaten, both panic points and the other phobies, because you can't go toe-to-toe. You just can't. You're going to have to overwhelm a specific phobie. Hopaloy's going to retaliate. You're going to lose a bunch of stuff, and then you got to hope that you come out in the end. Or that Hopaloy just makes a series of mistakes, that sort of thing. But the traps do give you an outlet to try and, oh, well, if I can get them, I can bait them, I get a free hit with something, and then hopefully I can take it down when I wasn't supposed to, or I'm able to just invade because of reasons. It also could hypothetically counter the unicorn traps, which, oh, by the way, 800 damage on these freaking traps. Good God. It hurts just watching. The follow-up is Blue Leon from Hopaloy, sunk a bunch of keys in. Again, this is really bad, because now you're arguably never dislodging these things. And honestly, I think the answer here is to not keep committing to lower keys. I think you need to go over the top. Bad guy has maxed out. They're going to get their big things. Like, Hopaloy literally can't put anything on the board, so they're going to obviously continue to bank. If you are filling your board with 3 keys that they could kind of just walk away from, I don't know. This doesn't feel like what you need to be doing. So we're getting aggressive on the corn here. Thanks to the earlier hit. And we do have the trap, so okay. Okay, we're making something happen. Maybe. This is why I was saying that, ooh, a little Minotaur action. All right, all right. So this is actually a unicorn trap. Never mind. For some reason, I don't know if I said that, but in my head, I was thinking that was a Venus trap for some reason. So I assume the Venus trap is, like, here, maybe? Or on the panic point? Because I think Venus was here when it would have used it. Now, honestly, I kind of like the Minotaur here. This is a level 9 Minotaur, but it's fairly tanky. It's not doing an insignificant amount of damage, even against these enormous phobies. Excuse me. We're getting a body block here. Now, what I hate to look at is this jar, but this is a level 22 jar, so nearly 360 damage, has a huge amount of health. Like, you still have to commit some serious resources to kill it. Hilariously enough, Gabe is able to steal the healing spot here. And from here, honestly, the situation doesn't look too dire. It certainly doesn't look good because Hopaloy has a 6-key bank, and we'll see what comes out. This is a dead Minotaur? Okay, yeah, this has got to be a dead Minotaur. This jar needs a Ray Charles to counter it? Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not lying. So here's the big issue, is while Gabe had, honestly, it didn't look terrible. But realistically, there's a lot of plays that Hopaloy could make with that bank. But panic point advantage is in favor of our hero. You could park the Stabby, for example, on their healing spa for a little bit longer. So if they want to poke at it, feel free. I'm going to heal. But the Stabby is pretty low. Able to get back on the healing spa. You are guarding this. And bad guy only has 3 keys left. So here's the thing. I'm not usually a big fan of just burning the rest of your keys and going Evo 3.0, Chuck, whatever. I don't know that it's terrible here. I still don't like it because with the 3 keys and given the level differential, like if this was even levels or closer to even, it might not be a bad idea. Just slam a Evo 3.0 and go, all right, stop me. Because it's quite possible you can't. But in this scenario, I think this is going to be challenging if you do that. I think you kind of need to go like 4-5 or 4-3-2 or something like that. Because you're probably going to have to sacrifice 1 to 2 more 1 keys because you're going to trade panic points back and forth. You're going to need some time to heal because, I mean, look at Bone Mangles and Stabby. They're not long for this world. And this, like, Hoploy can just go in almost with impunity and snipe something, and then you have to be able to retaliate. So that's why I think having, similar to the beginning of the game, more bodies on the board equals more HP and more damage, generally. So going all in on a singular phobie may not be awful, but I'm not sure it's ideal in this scenario. Plus, there's the healing spa factor, so you have to make sure you have enough damage to get things. And that's part of the reason why I didn't really like the double turret setup. It's going to be very difficult to actually connect onto everything in this scenario. Our double turret's fine on this map. Probably. Alright, so our hero here is in fact going all in. Now, given the repositioning of the jar, the Chuck is at a slight advantage because the jar, I mean, I can poke at it. This is arguably the saddest thing. A level 14 Chuck will in fact not one-shot the level 22 jar. Final phobie, Baby Snaky. We're all in, chat. I don't hate the Chuck, truthfully. I just wonder what this board state would look like if one of these was a 2 and a 1 key, or a bunch of 1 keys, or something like that. Because honestly, right here, I think the answer, yeah, you get Chuck set up, you start softening things up. I guess that's fine. Because this is quote-unquote permanent damage as opposed to on the jar, which you could then just walk onto the healing spa. Now, if you had walked the Chuck here, yes, it would have possibly gotten hit by both this and this, but then you can threaten the jar unless it backs off way farther. But as it stands right now, I think what our hero needs to do is just wait. Back to the game, I had a quick Twitch subscriber break, which, by the way, if you're curious what that is, hit up the links in the description. Check out the Discord, too. And we're going to be talking about Fright Night later. If you want some Fright Night action, you know, Bees is going right now. Bees! GG. Get a little Bees action. If you're curious about Fright Night, I'll get this out eventually. All right. If you're curious about Fright Night, by the time this video goes live on YouTube, hopefully it will already have been announced publicly on the official Phobies Discord and all that kind of stuff. But we are going to be hosting Fright Night at the end of March. So hit up the Random Thoughts Discord if you want to play. Details are there. You can sign up over on start.gg. Just search Fright Night. There's explainers and stuff. You'll figure it out. If not, like I said, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord, link in the description. Likes and subscribes while you're down there, by the way. But hit up the Discord. We'll be able to help you out. Alright, so from here, our hero, like I said, poke at stuff when you can. Take what you can get. Don't lose anything. The key thing is, like, you cannot lose anything. And arguably, like, the Chuck it could be in bad shape. Is this just dead? This is dead to the fire, unfortunately. I don't know if this was... Like, what did you do? Oh, you walked up the Stabby. Yeah, the Stabby probably didn't need to be here. So, the reason I say the Stabby didn't need to be here is both of these from this position can cover this. So, if they come in, it's... I assume what happened here is Gabe just miscounted sort of thing. Like, I don't think Gabe is out of this at this stage. But at this point, it's really ugly because Chuck cannot... There's just no way. The Bluelian alone is dealing 1,400 damage. Like, the Bluelian alone is dealing 1,400 damage. You're not going to kill it. It has almost 3k health. You're down bodies and they have levels. Like, the absolute imperative, the must-do, can't have this scenario. You can't lose Phobies. Now, at this stage, yes, you get some counter kills, but they obviously kill Chuck. They now have a triple panic point advantage. You'll be down 3-2 on bodies, and the ones that are left are not really damaged. You're not in position to threaten the Bowmangles. You're just not threatening Bluelian. Honestly, if Hoploy had put the healing spa here, well, I think they had to attack with this to kill the Chuck, but, like, assuming they didn't, they could put the healing spot here, just move the Bluelian there, and you just literally can't kill it. How much is this healing for, anyway? 320, so 640 over the course of the turn cycle. You're just not killing this thing. Hi, baby. Who's a good baby? You're a good baby. So yeah, I think there's some things you could clean up, Gabe. I think this was probably closer than it felt while you were playing it, or at least it seems that way. The stabby loss here, I think the early game, ultimately the Jin Sting did, like, it worked out fine, sort of thing, with the way you were going. Like, if you kept the identical game plan, it's feasible. Like, I think you can still win it with this game plan. But, at the same time, alright, there's a slight level differential, we'll say. And, what are you gonna do? I think you can definitely clean some stuff up, but GG, well played, well played. 41 turn game on like and subscribe, TCT, the marathon that is like and subscribe. I'm not just saying that, although I do appreciate likes and subscribes. But like and subscribe is the map. TCT, our hero in the blue trunks. I hate Hevo 3.0 so much. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Did you miss a lot of reviews? No, that was the very first one. Gabe was the first one. Unfortunately, an L for our hero at the hands of Hoploy. But I think Gabe played pretty well. I think Gabe played pretty well for the most part. Now, as far as this goes, TCT does have a very interesting opener electing to go 1-1. And then ultimately getting the north and south panic points. Bad guy starts out with Gravedigger, whereas TCT brings it in later. We do get a Poison Ivy. So, I don't know, TCT, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know. I'm curious. Or anybody else for that matter. YouTube, chat, whatever. Why do the Gravedigger later? I mean, you can't do the 1-1 opener with the Gravedigger. But, like, if you went Gravedigger 1-drop, you could then go Poison Ivy 1-drop on the follow-up. You know what I mean? I don't know. The main reason I say it is you get the cooldown back faster by doing it on turn 1 rather than turn 2. Like, that's the difference. Now, maybe you want to keep these on the same cycle, but they're not the same cooldown, so that's not going to work. I'm not really sure. But ultimately, part of the reason I paused is because I wanted to see this trap. If you notice a 744 damage trap, this will tank it. It will ultimately die, but will survive. Which, as we've discussed on many occasions, is the main reason why I don't like putting traps on panic points any longer. Now, it does soften it up so that you get a little chop here. However, you do run the risk. I will find out if this says... Okay, never mind. Cap blocks by recapping. I was going to say the snowball can come in and then stabby hit and then a jar, maybe, to, like, finish it off if needed. The creep is a little weird. Creep's a little weird. So is Droney. Like, I get you can't put the one drop on the panic point, but this seems bad from bad guy, right? Like you're burning the key essentially for no purpose. It's like, oh, I recap this. They're gonna just kill it and then send the cowbell down here. That just doesn't seem worth it. I've seen that play out of a lot of people over the course of the reviews, games I played, stuff like that. It just doesn't seem worth it. Whoa, Trap Gaming. Trap Gaming. We got Unicorn, we got Poison Ivy, and we got Venus. Chat. You asked for traps, and you got them. Again, one drop tanks the trap. I don't mind the trap on the panic point, but all you're doing is saving yourself an attack here. So the question is, do you really need to save that attack? Okay, this is bizarre. Is this a mind game, you think? Is this a mind game? No wonder this game is 41 turns. Yeah, exactly. Like, I wonder if this is a mind game. You put traps on the center panic point twice now. So, are you doing this to make bad guy assume that there's a trap here on the panic point? Like, that's interesting. It's really interesting. Bad guy probably preparing to let a big phobia out of the lock. Yep, the notes are indicating Evo 3.0, so I'm sure it's going to show up soon. Sure, it's going to show up soon. Get a little Bachelor action. We'll see if we get a Giraffe Bachelor out of this one. Does Bachelor open its mouth? There's the Evo. Big bad Evo. Why did that just happen? I get it, but like, I don't know. I guess this is more advantageous because you can slide the Hevo here and lob over this, protected by a body block here, and then, you know, they have to go through this spot if they want to, as compared to breaking this one, and then it's just a wider arc that can hit Hevo. I don't know if that matters that much, but... I think if I got all the trappers, I would troll my friend in a big map by summoning all 6 trappers. There might be more on the way, since we do know that there's an update with new Phobies coming. We'll be talking about that later, if we have time. I think it's fine to put traps on the panic points only for Ivy, because it kills some 1-keys. I don't think it kills many 1-keys on level, though. Clearly, ladder is a cluster. You have no way to predict whether your stuff is going to one-shot things or not going in. There's just no way to know, right? But... Ivy, I'd have to double check, but I don't... We looked at it before. I think it whiffs on one-shotting a lot of 1-keys. Now, ultimately, it will get them because of poison, because you're not going to... What are you going to muffin your Henrietta? No, you're not doing that. This is actually comical, though. Now, heroes down to 10 keys, bad guys down to 10 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we do get a Stairmaster, which I didn't call out earlier. That's a little... out of the blue. Doom. If there's a game where Doom is going to be good, I guess it's this one. We get a Doom. We're also, like, I'm more intrigued by these traps that are, like, seemingly all over the place compared to the ones that kept going on the middle. Here's the thing, though. Doom could hypothetically go in. You know what I mean? Like, Doom could go stand on one of these and probably live to tell the tale. Depending. I mean, so they know there's a trap here. They know there's a trap here. That's the only one that was within sight range, I think. You were here, I think. Oh, we're going in. No, we're going for a block. All right, this is interesting. That Gravedigger's like 300% dead. But you do get a pretty good hit. Get the little extendo range. Go gadget erratic arms. And you get the extended range here off of the Gravedigger hit. Show me a more iconic duo, Erratic and Gravedigger. Don't worry, I'll wait. There's no mech in the bottom. Poison traps are yeah, big threat. Yep. I mean, the Doom Doom, I get it. If Doom Doom doesn't work here... Here's the thing, though. Like, I was about to say, if Doom Doom doesn't work here, it's useless. But honestly, like, what is the advantage of Doom Doom here? Like, oh, I get rid of a trap. But what are you going to do after that? So hopefully the stability for the stream is okay. That would be the last thing I need tonight. But yeah, as far as Doom Doom goes, I don't know what the advantage here is. It's not doing anything of value. Even if it removes a trap here or there, first of all, there's a billion traps. Second of all, it doesn't seem to be meaningfully changing the game state. Like I said, I was going to initially state if Doom Doom's not good here, it's never good. But the thing is I don't think Doom Doom's accomplishing anything. It's like, okay, I know these traps are here, so I guess the information's valuable, but the Doom Doom's kind of dead weight aside from that. I'm going to let this play through in common as we go through, just because there's so many turns. Problem here for bad guys, the Doom Doom is not efficient enough because there's 3 trappers he can detect as much as he wants. He couldn't destroy the landmine field. The information has some value. How many keys that's worth, I'm not entirely sure. But it does matter to the degree that, okay, I can avoid those or make sure that I have a mechanical step on things. But there's a lot of undead, a lot of dimensional. And I guess the last 5 keys are going to have to go into healers or something. This one should have been titled Garden of Traps. You're not wrong. You're not lying. I mean, this might be quantity-wise the most traps I've ever seen. We had a new record, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 traps. Somebody's gonna have to... We've already settled it. Somebody won with only 1 health left on their heart. So, like, that... If it happens again, it'll be cool, but that's not getting beaten. However, in this case, I don't know that we've ever seen that many traps on the board before. Would Doom Doom be more useful if it had a larger AoE for the ability? I mean, by definition, yes. There's literally no penalty for having a larger vision field, but I don't think that materially changes things. So, for example, if Doom Doom had scoped out all these traps from back here, how does that change bad guys' game plan? I don't think it changes it at all. I think it either needs a larger trap eating radius, which probably is problematic. I'm not saying it should have that, just like that would be a way to improve it. Or it needs like improve its attack so it's an AoE attacker or something. But we've talked about it before. There's a point where you risk Doom Doom just being straight up better than the other 5 keys. Like, if Doom Doom is a better Cyclops, I don't think Cyclops ever gets played. Also, bad guy's in for a really bad time here, for the record. You got a trap there, and then you're going to get double hits from this Erratic on the stem. You can walk up the Venus and the Stairmaster if you really want. You probably don't, simply because of the Evo. Or you can do it with Creep. Oh, that doesn't kill it. Oh, no, then don't do the Creep. There must have been a lot of health. No, I don't think you had to do that. I think you just walk up the Stairmaster. Now you're going to get extra hits for no reason. That didn't have to happen. I don't know that it matters, but at this point, you can just register every trap you found, build up your strategy around forcing him to step on the trap. I don't even know if there's a strategy to making them step on it. Half the map is covered in traps. Like, you're going to step on them. This is how hilarious this is. TCT didn't even... It's a poisoned Erratic and just goes, all right, yeah, boom me. Whatever. You got me. At least Doom Doom allows a bad guy to see the glory of the traps. The irony is you don't even see all the ones that are up here. I hope bad guy rewatched this game and saw all of the traps at the end, because this is just bonkers. At this point, though, like, these are both dead. Trivially. Bad guy was up on panic points, briefly. They might be able to cap some of these. I guess where I'm going with it is bad guy is not out of it. they're certainly not in a good spot, but they haven't 100% lost. The key here would be to kill the pterodactyl, which I don't know that there's a way they can. But if they could kill the pterodactyl, and then because of their life advantage, maybe they can rush heart, maybe they can just run around and cap panic points kind of thing. Because then TCT's team is pretty slow. This map is the equivalent of when your mom mops the house and you're trying to walk across the room without leaving footprints, but with traps. Something like that. I feel like this is more like if you have younger siblings and, you know, you wake up and they were up early, you know, you come downstairs or you walk down the hallway and you walk in the living room and it's like, oh, I wonder what's for breakfast. And you realize that they just dumped all of their Legos all over the floor. That's this map right now. Like, look at this. Bad guy knows, but actually they might not know that this trap is here. They probably don't know that the poison trap is there, but how bad is that? You had to have this eat the poison trap. Honestly, you could probably just kill them. I don't know why TCT's pull them back. You just kill it and then fly away, and, like, they can't threaten it. I mean, it's going to die anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter, but... Well, wait. Does bad guy have the... No, bad guy doesn't have the heal up, so I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind. Just gave me an idea. Lego trap phobie. That would be a, That would be a partnership that could work out. I could see people getting excited about the idea of Lego phobies, or Lego-related phobies. Or Legos, like the Lego games, or actual Lego sets of phobies. Yeah, this has got to be frustrating for bad guy. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how low this was. Never mind. They absolutely... DCT should never have gone in here. Chad, I wasn't watching when we loaded into the game. Does bad guy win this? Oh, no. Never mind. The erratic lived. I thought the erratic was dead, because in my head I'm thinking, why would you go in there unless it was dead? At this point, bad guy loses. Yeah, I don't think they can get over here fast enough. They swung over here. They needed... If they were going to go hard, they needed to do it sooner. But I think TCT had too much stuff on the board at that point. I don't think you even needed to attack anything. You should have just sent everybody a heart and probably just race. The erratic can almost hold down the fort by itself. And by hold down the fort, I mean not really. 2,700 to 31? I don't know about going after the phobies, bad guy. Wait. Oh, no, that wouldn't have worked. No. I don't feel like these last few turns were managed in a way that makes sense. I think there were some alternatives that could have came in here. Well played, TCT. Well played. Just loading the map up with traps. Doom managed to get south and cleaned up with some help from his friends. True. So we have a more reasonable length game, we'll put it that way. Morbid Fates, our hero here, in the Blue Trunks Sucky Supremacy. We get a Sucky opener on Always Watching. The bold move, Cotton. I don't really know what... I mean, I don't mind Sucky. We've talked about it as an opener in a number of scenarios, right? We've talked about it on a number of occasions for small maps. It's pretty tanky. Obviously, the life leech extends its lifespan, and therefore you can use it to try and hold down the fort for a lot of things. I don't know about it here. I mean, I guess we're going to find out. So we're getting additional oddball phobies, at least in my opinion, for this map, namely Stabby. Now, bad guy has more common openers. I guess the assumption here is that cowbell's dead, so just reclaim it. Sucky's okay, but would rarely open him. We get a Sucky opener. I look up to confirm the Phobies Sucky was played versus the opener being bad. Fair, Doc. Fair. It's fun with languages. Alright, so we're getting some... We actually had a temporary 4 panic point advantage for our hero, who is banking to 8, by the way. Bad guy, however, is investing a lot in... We'll call it a higher velocity opener. Deploying a little daisy action, recapping the points, and we're back to being even. Just like that. This seems risky. The reason I say it's... Ooh, we get a beauty. Okay, it might not be so risky. And the beauty is placed in a cool position because it's going to be able to threaten a bunch of stuff. And it's tanky enough that it can, tank everything. I kind of like this map until I got my heart rushed. Heart pressure does play in typically on this map a lot. So bad guy's answer to beauty is sheep. How do we feel about that, chat? How do we feel about that, YouTube? I think you know my feelings on the matter. So in the meantime, we're going to get some shots going down on Jin Sting. I don't think there's any way... Did that really just die? What was this damaged from? What hit it earlier in the game? I don't know why bad guy did this. I thought this was full health. Granted, in some ways, a Sucky opener might be a Sucky opener. True. What's this Jin Sting placement? I thought it was full health, and I'm like, alright, they're going to take a bunch of damage, but I don't think there's any way it can die. Turns out, yes, in fact, it can die. Turns out, oh yeah, Inoculus hit it literally on the turn before. Duh. Thank you, chat. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think bad guy just hit the oops button. In without being damaged? I don't know what the original health was. Granted, it's coming off stim, but Sucky's damage baseline is not huge. But it is possible that it would have died anyway. That's one of those plays that when I see somebody do something like that, I just kind of assume they counted it up when we're doing replays. That there's no way that their guy dies, because otherwise, why would you just walk into it? Well, it happens sometimes. So in the meantime, still even panic points. Hevo's coming in to supplement the forces. We get a Boo Fairy, which is also kind of weird, but it does shoo away the beauty temporarily. This is just a dead murder wing, isn't it? Why is this happening? You just watched this happen, like... 2 turns ago, because the cooldown, like... Why? Oh my god, Sucky is a terror! Sucky is terrorizing bad guy here. An early breakout for the opening clip. I can't think of anything to say, because it's just like, I don't know. So Sucky is now responsible for 7 keys worth of kills. Tell me they're going to sheep the Sucky. Oh my god, they're going to sheep the... They sheep the Sucky! It doesn't even die! I mean, it probably will eventually, but like... So Motherlode and Sparky are the new forces for either player. 7 keys remaining. This is insane. Is this Sucky gonna live? Bad guys just hemorrhaged so many keys now. I don't even know that they need to heal it. Well, I guess they have to heal the Sucky, but it's gonna happen. This Sucky does not appear to be Sucky. You are correct. This Sucky has 2 kills to its name. Well, technically 3. Yes, we can say that the Inoculus finished it off, but in my book, Sucky's getting the credit for this one. Has this Boo Fairy done a damn thing? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? After all that, it lives? Oof. We do, in fact, get the muffin onto Sucky. Yeah, at this point, I'm not going to lie. Just go for the heart. You have a triple panic point advantage. Well, I mean, bad guy does have a lot of damage threatening here. Boo Fairy has a high attack. Foul has a high attack. But they got to deal with all this stuff. And you know they're going to walk the foul up, right? Like, the foul's going to walk up to disease the beauty. You probably just have enough time to just beat this heart to death. Okay, you're going to put the tickles there. I was going to say, you might as well just walk this thing up and then let it reclaim the point, but tickles is fine. So the foul connects with the beauty. For all that's going to matter, I'm pretty sure in the next 2 turns we're going to see this heart just evaporate. Little canine action. 2 3 Rangers here. Motherlode, Hevo, and Sucky. Chat, I can see why the Sucky was MVP. Absolutely deserved it. The Sucky was pretty good. I don't really have anything else to add. This is just well done. Sucky putting in work? Absolutely. The funny thing is, this is, and not to take anything away from Morbid, but this is one of those games where bad guy lost it more than Morbid won it, kind of thing. Bad guy just, kill my phobies. Here's my phobies on a silver platter. That's kind of how that game went, but GG. GG. I think I saw this was 37 turns, so you might have to, yep, 37 turns. Here we go, chap. Everybody get in. Strap in. Get in, losers. We're going 37 turning. Honestly, I don't like giving notes anymore. I don't like spoiling the game for everyone to just watch and enjoy. Also getting the hang of Mount Blight. I like it so far. I like Mount Blight. It's one of the maps that I like the most. That guy was giving food to the Sucky. Yep. Feed me. Feed me. So, bad guy's going with a pretty aggressive opener. The only thing I disagree about this, and we'll see what bad guy does, is I think they should have done what Urk did, which is kind of my opener on this map. It's 1-1 Cassowary. You cap 3 panic points going first. If you're going second, same kind of thing. You could mix it up a little bit going second because you get the extra keys. But then you have a variety of follow-ups. Really, as either player, obviously it gets delayed a little bit for first player if you consume all the keys, but no. It lets you get an early board presence on this map, because as we've seen in some of my ladder games and other games we've watched, you can't just get, like, you have to pressure your opponent or match their aggression. You can't just do nothing. You don't like the concept of an 8 panic point in a single map, all on only 3 columns? I mean, would it be better if they were just in clusters? Because that was a question that came up when we were discussing this map previously, is like, how do you look at this map? I look at it as columns. Other people look at it as, like, groups, where it's like 3 up here, and 2 in the middle. Or something like that. Somebody, I think, was saying they look at it as a diamond in the center and then the 2 on the top. And it depends on how you mentally subdivide the map, which can drive the strategies. You know, like, if you swing one way, you can overload the bottom portion of the map and not necessarily the top at the same time. That sort of thing. But because it's so long, it does pull your forces in a unique way compared to a lot of maps. Which I think adds a different depth, a different wrinkle to the gameplay that forces you to interact in a more interesting way than we've seen in the past. More interesting being just, we don't see it typically, not necessarily that it's better or worse. Need to fight cars to actually have real fun on this map. Alright, so we're getting panic points going down back to the actual game. We did get a Gravedigger for all those people that were trying it out or thinking about it on this map. And notably, Urk does deploy Gesundheit. It's kind of becoming an Urk trademark, almost up there with the Gralian shenanigans. It looks like we're just trading stuff out here. We do get a spider. Here's where things are going to get interesting, because now Urk really has a big threat. The problem here is In order to ensure that you're not losing anything down here, Urk had to pull all the way back, so you're giving up these panic points, and once again, we're tied. We'll have to see where this goes to see how our hero is able to stabilize, because bad guy here can claim a bunch of stuff. Although, honestly, like, these one-drops are going to die. And fairly quickly. But because the fight is over the middle panic points instead of one of the corner ones, the pocket ones, you are unable... Ooh, we're actually getting aggressive here. All right. A lot of things, like both Jar and Snowball can reach here. Although I think you're going to give up your Gin Sting. It's possible the Gin Sting will live. I mean, you're going to lose some of the stuff on retaliation. You didn't use the pole, right? No, you did use the pole because you had to get the Gravedigger onto here. You can't kill... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Little klepto action. Body block here from the stabby blocking out our cassowary here. So we're trading stuff out, but our hero should be at a key advantage. Also have 9 keys banked. 7 of which go into a mother load. 2 mother loads so far. And then an A wall, alright. Clustering up like this is interesting. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7. A little closer than I thought. It felt like our hero was up by a little bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 more keys, but still at an advantage for now. Still advantageous at the moment. Thunder Rocks. Sure. Now, our hero is down panic point, so they're going to have to claim something pretty quickly. The damage will add up, and one of the biggest risks for this map, aside from, oh, well, I fell behind early, and oops, there goes 90% of my health, or half my health, or whatever, is that if you fall behind later, your opponent can then just push panic points aggressively and kill you. Sacrificed AWOL there? Yes. However, in Urk's defense, that Poison Ivy was moving all over the place, so it would have been difficult to determine where the trap was. But yeah, if you were maxed out, so it makes sense to like let it go. I don't know if you knew the trap was there. I would have lost track, truthfully. Brony. Doesn't this just die? Or couldn't this have just died if you yoink it? Maybe it's not worth it. But 11 key, 10 keys for our hero. Never mind. 4 keys for our hero. I don't know why I said 10. And then 1 key remaining. The forward Graylien position makes sense, because if they brony it, who cares? You're going to have to wait 100 years for it to go off cooldown anyway. But we can get the hot potato play and just pull this thing all the way back. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to switcher you here. You yoink with the spider. And then just blow it to Kingdom Come. Although, admittedly, our hero doesn't have too many forces remaining. So, yeah, I think this is fine. Like, obviously you end up on the lava. You have to assume you're going to lose the snowball, too. But if they choose to go after your forces there, they're not dealing with the Graylien. And by not dealing with the Graylien, I mean, that thing's tanky enough, it'll eat all of this, and then, oh, maybe not. That can't be enough damage. It must just be for the poison. Granted, this Graylien's dead. It's never going to make it back out again. Unless a healer comes in. But Graylien has relevant damage. Over 500 damage here, 533 specifically. And bad guys just hemorrhaging their forces right now. Granted, our hero could end up losing a bunch of stuff here. There's still traps on the panic points to be concerned about. Poison Ivy's still alive. And the Klepto does live. This is going to get some great splash hits here. In addition to Thunder Rock's hit. Oh, baby, that Motherlode's toast, huh? Or not. I mean, that works. You think they ran out of time here? Yeah, because they should have gotten the hit with the Poison Ivy as well. So Cassowary would have been dead. And that's fairly significant. It's also kind of bold to go Bow Mangles both on this map and into that Gesundheit. Ooh, get the yoink. Love to see it. Panic point advantage. Well, it's even, so stabilized, we'll say. But all of a sudden, bad guy is kind of short on Phobies, right? Very short on Phobies, we'll say. Well done, Urk. Well played. I don't know how you still have 13 more turns of this unless bad guy just never engages and just runs away. But double turret on this map, especially with the Bow Mangles coming in late, is interesting. I think it was good judgment calls on some of the invades. Obviously, they had to make a decision about the Graylien when it went in. As in, do I kill the Graylien? Do I kill everything else? Because there's just not enough in order to do both. Or bad guy, I mean. So giving your opponent those sort of dilemmas is exactly what you want to do. I guess we're just going to play the dancing game here of bad guy trying to move around. Somehow manage to get up one panic point without dying, I guess. They do snipe the Gesundheit, which is a little unfortunate, but, I mean, being that low, I guess it was inevitable. Okay, I thought that thing was just going to sit in the middle. I was going to add that at some point it might be worth just, okay, sack something to go in where if they hit it twice in order to kill it, they're just dead. Which is pretty much what's happening here. Bo astutely notices something wrong with the panic point, doesn't claim it. We're just watching the end of bad guy here. There was really... it was over several turns ago when they lost all their forces. But this was a strong comeback because you can get behind. I mean, look at the heart health. This is 3,600 now, but 1,800 for several turns for Urk. So definitely a patient game coming out of Urk in order to reclaim this. But in true Urk fashion, Graylien. Getting them yoinks, setting up the hot potato. We'll see if we can make that a thing. And just like that, ball game. GG. GG. All right, so we're zoning in here with Redwick as our hero in the blue trunks. I mean, 2 droney kills, what can I say? We all love a good droney snipe, a good droney assassin play. And we do, in fact, get the droney coming out early on here on Moai. Rapidly becoming my least favorite map. I don't think there's anything wrong with the map in general, in the abstract, in the macro, overall, other ways to describe it. I just don't personally like the gameplay pattern. It just feels dumb. I have absolutely lost games doing my quote-unquote primary game plan on this map, but it is way more successful than it has any right to be. What is my primary game plan? Bum rush the heart. It just feels dumb. So, bad guy here is coming out with a Gravedigger block into Bow Mangles that was already in position. I'm a little surprised Bow didn't stay up there to beat up the Gravedigger, but I guess you can snipe the Finnegan here. Droney kill number 1, chat. Droney kill number 1. Absolutely, Urk. Phobos is an argument. I would rather play Coulrophobia, Floor's Lava. Vile Vortis isn't even a bad map. Like, I didn't even know people didn't like that map. Finnegan Suicidal, yeah, I don't really get the Finnegan play. Why it was so aggressive. We do get a Speedola here, though. 2-to-1 panic point advantage for our hero. An early Mopsy, but as Chad has been commentating, this is a seemingly lower stress level game. So we're, in fact, let's take a peek. Level 5. Yeah, we're talking low stress levels here, so we're going to see some unique stuff. Vile Vortis is terrible? Incorrect. Vile Vortis is just the big house on steroids, and I think the big house is fine. Droney going after the heart. Gets the body block here from Mopsy so that the Stairmaster can't do anything about it, at least not for now. Finnegan suiciding himself, looks like he lost his family against Droney. Yes? Sure. You do get a red Speedola to complete the pair here. You think Vortis and Opticon are your least favorite big maps? How do you feel about the big house? I know it's not a big map, but it's kind of the same thing. Do you tolerate that map setup on smaller maps, but not larger ones? Is this just a dead Stairmaster? Oh my god. Wow. Our hero here is just tearing bad guy apart. And it's not even like, oh, well, our hero has to do something weird and then is giving up keys in return because the bad guy's retaliation. Is just like, no, I'm just going to murder your forces and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't really understand attacking the Mopsy either. Seems questionable. We do get a Temptress, which is kind of cool. You don't see those every day. Getting the beat down, going down on red Speedola. I think the... Is there any reason not to put the jar here? Because then the jar can both reach this and reach the heart. We get a fish tank. Bad guy's just getting destroyed. You are correct. 13 keys remaining for our hero. 15 for bad guy. Probably their only solace in this particular scenario, but they're staring down the forces of hero. And you just can't compete with that. I do love the Speedolas, though. I do love the Speedolas. I need to get the other one so I have the set and then level them up. Yo, zap action. This thing, yeah, this thing's just dead. Because, surprise, it's Droney! Got him. Got him. He overextended. Yes, pick a turn in this game. Bad guy is overextended. Like, pick a turn. It doesn't matter which turn. There will be a turn where bad guy overextended. Speedolas seem okay, but don't play them against me. I mean, the Speedolas are interesting. I don't know how good they actually are. But, they're cute. I like the idea. Cat sneaking around, but as mentioned, there's no hope for bad guy. You can't dislodge our hero in time. We know there's only 3 turns left. As compared to the other games, this is a very quick one. But you can't dislodge. It's just not happening. Droney pays for its sins. The John Wick of dronies. The obligatory erratic. I mean, welcome to low stress level games. You're absolutely right. I guess bad guy will get one more turn to try and farm some XP, but they are getting kneecapped here. Mostly of their own doing, truthfully. This is the funny part. You couldn't even get the erratic in range because the Ginsting was body blocking it. Did you give your opinion on 3 new phobies, not dial, because we don't know what it does? I thought we only knew what one of them does. I mean, we know one is invisible, but we don't know what it costs or what its stats are, right? And we know one is mind control, but we don't know anything about it. I was kind of gonna... I mean, we can speculate, but I was gonna kind of wait for the update. Maybe have a surprise stream. Let's see. But we're watching the final death throes of bad guy. GG, Redwick. Well done. Well played. You just kind of beat the snot out of bad guy. I don't know what else to say. What I do have to say, though, is if you're interested in playing in Fright Night, signups will absolutely be live because they're already live right this second. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, hit up the links in the description, both for the live stream. You know, those buttons for like and subscribe, those help out too. But also for Discord, join the Random Thoughts Discord. You can find out all the details there. But signups are on start.gg. Hopefully, the official announcement will go live before this video does. But we'll see. It's the simplest way to put it. Bad guy messed up. But that was last game. This game, on Megalo, our hero is Master Dark. Poor guy getting beat up by my new Phobie. Ooh, we get a little new Phobie action. Not the new Phobies with the 1.6 update, but some new Phobies for our hero here. We'll see what it is. The Hog Frog Phobie? What? Only electric I had at that point besides erratic, but he cost 6. I mean, that's fair. So the opener here from Master Dark is reminiscent of what I typically do, or used to do, we'll say. What I've been leaning into more on this map is Gravedigger openers. A lot of maps of suddenly just, I'm opening Gravedigger, and I'm breaking blocks, and then trying to, because on this map especially, I think Gravedigger, aside from opening up more range of movement for your phobies, you can also set up some interesting blocks. I mean, yes, you could lock them out up here, but even just forcing a choke here, like going from 2 spaces to 1 is a big deal. It's a big deal. But instead, we're getting a turret stare down to a degree, stabby, bowmangles. The early Ginsting from bad guy, okay. But cassowaries as well. Master Dark is instead going to 8. Are we going to see a dozer? Because I imagine this is an 8 key. Otherwise, you would not have popped out that boom, right? I called the chat. It is, in fact, the Doughboy. Dozer coming down. Honestly, I don't mind Dozer on this map, especially since bad guy elected to not have any 3-rangers. No Jar, no Inoculus, no real way to poke at this Dozer at the moment. But we are going to get a little bit of poking going on to eliminate this cassowary. I don't think that's worth it. Well, okay, I take it back. This play actually isn't terrible. Why is it not terrible for people that are following along at home? Let's follow along with the class. Because bad guys maxed out, they do have 7 keys. I think they're doing this explicitly to open stuff up. The problem is that I think they're going to lose 5 for 2, and it's not a meaningful loss for our hero. So they're going to be able to walk Dozer's fat ass all the way up here, right? If they want, or they can kill stuff or whatever. But they could have put, say, this here, or put Ginsting here instead of using the snowball. Sacrifice a phobie to open up a slot. All right, sure. Sacrifice 2 phobies. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that, Master Dark. I don't think you needed to lose that boom. I think you could have just... I don't think the unicorn was in range to put a trap here yet. So I think you could have just kept, like, killed it, both of them, and then one of these eats the snowball damage and walks away, and then you walk boom into position. Right? This is actually hilarious. Why did you do this, bad guy? Oh my god, this is actually awesome. Bad guy walks up this erratic as trying to answer Dozer, but get locked out. Get puked on. That is disgusting. This is just, like... I'm sorry. This is just comical to me. Like, this is actually hilarious. Who needs Gravedigger? Who needs Rushmore? You just dozer them in a choke point. It's that easy. Watch out, gang. Mr. Stay Puft coming in to blow chunks. Yep. Got him. So, chat, we only have one more game, breakdown-wise. I mean, unless people add other stuff, and then we'll talk about the Vendy stuff. And speculate a little bit about the update, which I'll leave in the VOD. Or not the VOD, the YouTube video. Well, to be fair, Dozer's kind of getting his ass kicked here. But, as always, well, maybe not as always, but as frequently, we're getting a takedown on Boom with the splash. We're getting a takedown there on Mangles. We're getting a takedown on Unicorn, and it's just like, alright, bad guy, ball game? Question mark? Hey, Big She, what's good? Remember, he's only a level 3? I looked at the health for a second. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. But I had to check the max health. Yeah, only level 3, but still over 3k health, nearly 3,200 health. It's pushing 600 damage. I don't hate the idea of Dozer on this map. Or other small maps like this. Maybe like Biff's Room kind of thing. Is it better than, say, like going Hevo or something? Probably not. Like, even game plan adjusted, it's probably worse to go Hevo. Or worse to go Dozer over Hevo, I mean, but still a thing. Still a thing. Panic point advantage hero. Phobie advantage hero. Key advantage hero. Probably a heart health advantage hero. We're just gonna let... Yeah, we're gonna let it go. Not playing Clinico. Didn't want to spawn Clinico with Dozer HP. Oh, you were taunting them with the Dozer HP? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't hate the idea of going 2-1, so you have more bodies. But GG. Well done. Well done, Master Dark. The big boy. So, before we start talking updates and patches and future phobies and speculation, we do have one more Urkevina game. Making attractor users quit the game one by one. Do we get a little rage quit action here on this 27-turn game? We will see. So, an interesting opener from Urk. It's what I feel a lot of people went to, if either that or Snowball on this map before they started leaning into Gravediggers. Bad guy, on the other hand, is going with early Gravediggers, start breaking stuff. Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. You have a 1/3 chance to get Dozer guaranteed dupe in my Dreadful. I would open at the update. Seems good. You'll soon have a normal game with Shadow Force. You're gonna have a normal game. Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt. Yeah, I would agree with the Kune. High-level, quote-unquote, normal games are interesting because even if you go in and I'm not commentating on it or anybody's not commentating on it, the important thing is trying to learn and what notes can be taken from here. So, but in the meantime, for this game, we're getting it fairly generic, speaking of normal games so far. I mean, again, Urk elected to not go into the Gravedigger opener, as instead following things up, fighting through the chokes, now adding a turret to their forces, How is bad guy going to respond with their 6 keys? They're going to bank to 9? I wonder what's coming down. Cat getting picked off here. Why did this happen? That guy absolutely could have moved this cat. Like, there was no need for that cat to die, and that seems silly because that cat is a valuable, like, it can... Given that Urk has a 1 key, and I assume bad guy's not going to put in effort to kill this bachelor. So now Urk just has a free 1 key. Which sounds silly, like, oh, who cares, it's a 1 key, but you recap panic points, you get a little bit of extra damage. It's also a bachelor, so it could pull something out of position, like... We do get the Gravedigger match here in Crushmore. Like, at this point, bad guy's in a really bad spot. This is actually very awkward. They're down panic points. There's still a 1 key on the table to recap a point from our hero, and our hero's positioned to threaten everything. They just gave up every advantage they had. Or potentially had. This just feels like it's daring Klepto to come in. Please come in here and try and splash me. That's a fairly damaged bachelor. Maxed out Phobies here, also maxed here. I imagine the... So wait. That Poison Ivy was never in position to put a trap on the panic point, right? So now this Henrietta dies, and the bachelor recaps the point again. Like... I get it would have been challenging to kill this thing, but this goes back to why losing that cat was significant, because otherwise you kill that, kill the bachelor whenever, and then the cat recaps. Now you have to expend another 1 key, 7 keys to 6 here. And like I said, Urk's had this 3-to-1 panic point advantage for a significant amount of time in this game. Now, bad guy, to their credit, has set up at least 2 traps, possibly 3 by this point. I've kind of lost track. But I still don't think it was ever in position to put a trap on this panic point. Not that this would get hit by the poison, but... I feel like they could have also, earlier, slid this Poison Ivy to where Klepto is and put a trap on here to get the Bachelor when it goes to recap, because it obviously was going to at some point. So Attractor comes out as the final phobie from Bad Guy. Beaten up on the Gin Sting. Stabby's a little beat up, but the heart is very beat up here from Bad Guy. I can only assume this thing is dead. Yep. So going with the 1 key, do we get a 5? Show me not a 5 cost phobie. Bank it on the 5. Just, sure. Just burn the yoink. Why not? So now the Gravedigger just dies? Does the Gravedigger just dies? I guess it just dies. There is... So, the Attractor can beat up the Crushmore. Hypothetically, this Klepto just kills the... What I imagine, it's going to hit once, and then the Attractor... Oh, it's not. It's going for it. It's just going to kill the Murder Wing, which is what I was going to say initially, but... Show me Cyclops. Nope. Contortio into Daisy. Contortio into Daisy. Daisy, in fact, secures the takedown on this Attractor, unless there's a trap here, which I guess is unlikely. Quad panic point of... I don't think bad guy can even... Like, our hero can possibly just stand on the panic points and just go, okay, you can't get through fast enough. Dojewall, welcome back. I do see the challenge. The iconic Dojewall challenge. You get a cute break here to kind of close out the game. Well played, Urk. Well played. Yeah, I know it sounds dumb that I spend so much time on a Bachelor and a Razormouth, but like, I think that really did played in significantly to the outcome of this game. Tell me if you feel otherwise, chat, YouTube. Let me know. GG. All right, so we're jumping in here with a game from Kratosss here on Phobia. I accidentally didn't switch scenes. I'll edit that out for the video. But bad guy here is an interesting opener. We'll get to that. The update's coming, so I'm trying to get through all of these breakdowns so that way we don't have any sitting out there that break, because I imagine they're going to break for this. But shout out to the devs because I'm excited about it. We did spend some time talking about the update, so we're going to edit this. We'll edit it in post. Get everything grouped together so that way. But definitely check out the other half of this video or the other video if I break it out separately. I usually win on this map by rushing the enemy heart with Hevo, Unbearable, or Cyclops and using the other phobies to help defend. Exactly. I don't necessarily use those myself, Orzeus, but just rushing a phobie to the stem is basically the plan. That's why I think this is interesting from Bad Guy, because this is like the next step in extremity for this sort of game plan, by banking on, like, you take the panic point and then bank into Hevo, because Hevo's super tanky. It's going to be super difficult to dislodge, and then it just pelts the heart. So we'll see. Probably be Monday, but it will probably be on Monday, but it might be Tuesday before the update. They said, well, for me, the date they stated is Tuesday. This is Heartburn on another level. I mean, this is... We were talking about it earlier when Moai came up, but realistically, and I think Kratosss has a cool response here by breaking this. We'll see where it goes from here. Oh, for the trailer? Yeah, that's probably on Monday. Tomorrow, at the time of this recording. We'll see. But we were talking about it in the context of a Moai game, where Moai is very Heart Rush focused as well, in my experience. This is absolutely just get on their heart and beat the crap out of it in a lot of games. And it leads to a lot of non-games. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% of times you zone into this map. Not 100% of times that you play anybody here. There's clearly going to be variation. The map isn't 100% solved. We get a Charon. What? That is a bold move, Cotton. Alright, so how's Kratosss going to respond here? Panic point advantage is going in favor of Bad Guy. Obviously, Kratosss is under an enormous amount of pressure, and this Hevo's not remotely close to dead, but they did bank to 6. They did bank to 6. Now, Bad Guy offered up their jar here. For, like, one hit on the other jar. Ooh! We got Heart Rushes, and we have Rocket Man. Is our summoning circle complete? Has Luffy showed up? Yep, and Luffy's there! We knew it. You knew it was coming. The tactical Rocket Man, yep. It's the Pocket Rocket. Whoa, wait, never mind. Let's take that one back. That may or may not be the intro. This is actually a really cool play. This is a really cool play. I like this a lot, Kratosss. This is really cool. The Pocket Rocket. Hey-oh. Is that a Rocket Man in your pocket? I don't know how to continue the pun there, because, like, it just froze it. Now, there's still keys left, and Kratosss is still... Like, Kratosss is not out of the woods yet. Because you still have to kill this Hevo before things come back. Triple panic point advantage going the other... Just ignoring the Hevo. That's a bold move, Cotton. Can you just kill this? That's a lot of damage on the heart. This is... I guess this is just a race. The Charon seems like a waste. Honestly, I don't hate Bad Guy's opener here. The response from Kratosss is just really good. Response from Kratosss is just really good. Clear out the Finnegan. Get a little beat down going on in the heart. GG. Well done, Kratosss. Well done. Alright, so I think officially the last game review, I know we said it earlier, but we're zoning in Kratosss once again, this time on Home Sweet Home. Because of the update coming, we know that the replays, or, I mean, I guess hypothetically the replays won't break, but they're going to break. They're going to break. You haven't had any recent matches since you've been on a Phobie hiatus? Apologies, chat. Don't worry about it, Doge. People have been filling in your absence, believe me. All right, so we get the Kratosss special. It is an early Baba Haha on Home Sweet Home. And we've definitely seen some hilarious games out of Kratosss with the Trapper. We'll see how this one goes. Chat, do you think we're getting Trap Phobies in the new update? Have we gotten any new Trap Phobies? I mean, Poison Ivy, but did we get any in Full Disclosure or Carnival? You gotta help me out, chat. I'm drawing blanks. I can't think of any. None from either update. We might be due for a new Trap Phobie, chat. Hashtag just saying. You think this is going to be the update where we get the Abyss tile making Phobie? Or the Abyss filling Phobie? Or do we think Abyss tiles are going to last forever? Bad Guy answers with tickles. Oh, boy. Bad Guy, come on! Oh, come on! Come on! Like, look, they won't necessarily know that, yes, this trap is literally right here. But you covered, like, were they just convinced it was on the panic point? There's a thought of an electric track Phobie, but that seems bad. I could see that existing at some point. Just because, like, they have fire ones, they have poison ones. They have freeze ones. I wonder if there'll just be a trap that locks you in place, but doesn't freeze you, you know, a la Rusty / basically any, pick something in the game, they could turn into a trap, basically. Disease trap, that's another one. So a bunch of free damage goes down. Dead snowball because we can, and the Bobby Haha gets to just walk away. Excuse me. So a worse freeze? I guess. But it depends on the Phobie it's attached to. What if that Phobie is a 2-move, 2-range Phobie that's cheap? Where it's like, oh, by the way, I'm a Gin Sting, but instead of having Gin Sting bees, I have laying traps. You know, like, I don't know if that's actually good, but, you know, you could have something that makes up for the fact that it isn't necessarily, oh, I'm a worse freeze. Well, yeah, but I offer a lot more in other aspects. So in the meantime, Bad Guy's getting all up in there, trying to push a little bit. Triple panic point advantage, but the team is, somebody better start praying. God may have mercy, but Kratosss will not. Call a doctor because both Chin Sting and Stabby needed it. It's a little late. Bad Omen? How do you have Bad Omen and you don't lead the game off with it? Oh my god, this thing... Wait, what? Why does the health bar look like this? It looks like it has 1 health left. It's weird. It's a level 9. Why would you not lead the game with a Bad Omen at level 9? That's weird. That reminds me about Probes when we saw Sprite. He had a floating orb in his hand. His ability might have something to do with that. It could also just be, like, that's his idle animation, is, like, he juggles or something. You know what I mean? Get the sweet lockout here. Panic point pressure is still on. But now we're building, like, you locked out the tickles, which is comical. Unbearable is absolutely not what you want right here. Boom. Trap numero dos. I reached 300 coffee and I haven't spent it immediately. Dreadful pack, here I come, question mark. And then 2 question marks. Actual question marks. You need the willpower, Urk. Rocket Man! Back-to-back games. Let's see a little Rocket Man action. A little Pocket Rocket Man. This isn't really a Pocket Rocket Man. The last game absolutely was, though. You gotta at least wait till Wednesday, Urk. You gotta at least wait till Wednesday. Have that chance at a new phobie. If you wait a few days, it gets easier. Because past a certain, at least for me, like, past a certain point, if I'm waiting for something and I'm like, I don't do it, then it's like, alright, I'm now past that, oh, I gotta have it phase, you know what I mean? So Kratosss is playing this really patiently, just to check the hearts. 3,200 health, that's actually way better than I thought. I thought Kratosss was under a lot more pressure. Bad guy's just getting crapped on, kind of. But 0 keys, and one of the invested phobies is Rocket Man, so we gotta see some value come out. Oh, no. Oh, no! Bad guy! Oh, my God! Twice! Twice?! How does this happen? Unpossible. Unpossible. And now it's just the cleanup crew. The only thing that might have made sense, more so than this, is 1,100. No, that wouldn't have worked. I was going to say maybe send Baba Yaga up here to claim this point, but between this and this, it would kill it. I don't know if that's worth it. Numbskull is absolutely not what you want, but it doesn't matter. The game is over. This game is over. Yeah, for the record out there, everybody, impossible is not actually the word. I was making a joke. I know chat is having fun with it, but people are going to be like, that Chomp guy's a real dum-dum. And they probably say that anyway, but whatever. Numbskull's just here to have fun. Numbskull is just always happy. Doesn't have any idea what the hell's going on. Doesn't really understand. Doesn't really seem to have any sensory organs other than those tendril things. So, like, sure. You know what's funny is I actually saw this scenario being described in the main Discord earlier today, where somebody had said, don't allow traps to be placed under frozen phobies. Yeah, Numbskull absolutely is just happy to exist. That's the official lore for Numbskull now, for the record. We're saying it now, chat. Somebody write it down, send it to the devs. But somebody was complaining in the main Discord that they should change it so you can't put traps under frozen phobies. And, like, I think everybody gave it a thumbs down. At the end of the day, it's just, don't get your guy frozen. With putting traps under frozen phobies, yeah, it's a legit strat. It works. GG, bad guy. GG. Them traps. Traps on traps on traps. Well done, Kratosss. Well done. GG. So chat, we got through all the game breakdowns. We talked about the Vendy hunt. And now it's the waiting game both for the trailer and, of course, the update itself. Like I mentioned earlier, let me know in Discord, YouTube, let me know down in the comments. By the time this goes live, well, we'll already have the update in hand. So I'm curious what you were excited about. Did you get it? Are you disappointed? What'd you feel about the Vendy event? What are you looking forward to? Because there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope everybody out there both had fun with the Vendy hunt as well as hopefully a lot of fun to be had with this update. But that's going to do it for tonight, chat. I'm beat. I'm really tired. We'll be back for some variety tomorrow. I see Luffy's already pushing for hunt. We'll see. We'll see. So everybody, make sure you go say thank you. Let the devs know how you felt about things. The feedback is absolutely important. It is important to get feedback for these things. But chat, I really am exhausted. I need to rest. We'll see if we get a surprise stream. Cat may be out of the bag if I'm saying it's a surprise, but you get the idea. If we get a bonus stream later this week. But for now, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.